for your family, and in the old days, the chief, now is life or death. That's the mindset you have to be in. Okay, so there may come a time that may happen. And the question is, this is what all this training and everything comes down, is to that eventuality that may happen. And in the old days, it was very simple. You either maimed or killed them. That was it. And in a battle formation, 3 moves and you're moving. Your job was to take care of 3 or 4 people before you perished, okay? Now, all of you guys that were doing all of your entry things, who you were and all that good stuff, I'm standing in the line with 4 of the best spearsmen in the world. You go out there, you're dead. There are 4 spears on their way. That's what you have to be prepared for. Okay, so your mindset is that you have to go from 0 to 100 and ready to go from stimulus to action, not thought. Okay, so in your earlier class, who you were, what you are, and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. Because what matters at that point is your, as we call in jump school, your 4th point of contact is in a sling. Your wife and your kids are being held ready to be stoned to death. That's where you got to be. Okay, it may not be realistic to some of you, but the reality is this training at the end is where it may have to be employed. And if you're going to employ it, at that point you have a choice. Do you be judged by 12 or carried by 6? Okay, that's where your mindset has got to be. Now, what I'm going to do is just go over a few of the techniques you've already learned. So what were you doing in your entry chant? What were the movements? What were the first ones? Okay, those are all uppercuts. Okay, so a good friend will come here. So if he takes his left hand, what you're doing is you're coming with the uppercut, follows to the jaw, my thumb goes in his mouth, rips it off to the side, and I slam him upside the head. That's one example of what you're doing with an uppercut. So if he comes again, you take it out, you hit, whoop, and then, anyway, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. But just to let you know, with your uppercuts, and if he brings the 2 hands, you come from here and you hit. You know, these are just variations of the same thing on that, okay? The other thing is, what are you doing? You're pushing and you're pulling, right? So I push his face this way and reverse it the other way. So you've learned a number of techniques already, even though you may not be aware they're techniques. That's what's buried in there. Okay, when you're pushing, I can come from here, don't do anything, from here and just come boom, and hit him on there and dislocate his shoulders. And that's where you are. But all I'm doing is turning my hands. Okay, when you're pulling, you know, you're pulling the energy. But what you do is you just come slowly. So as he's coming here, as I push and I'm coming, I grab the shoulders and take him and spin him into the ground and hyperextend his neck at C4, 5, and 6. Here down or here down. Okay? C4, C5, C6. That's the damage. Okay? What were you doing with the Maha'u? What was the first thing? Right? So if I'm from here, it's okay? Just short. Just hits like that. Okay? That's what you're learning. What are the males doing? What is that representative of? That's a male appendage. Okay, you hold it straight up, palm, not turn. It's here, coming straight up. Okay, so if I'm here, I blast the groin and I come back up. That's a simple movement. Down and then you're up. Okay, so those are one thing. What are the other things you're doing? You're punching, right? So those are 90, 45, 15. The reason you're hitting here is so you don't dislocate your shoulder. What's happening is when you're hitting, your arms aren't flying out. They're coming right off your rib cage. So when I hit, that's what you're doing. Okay, so those blows are the same thing. If he throws his left, well, I go from here and whoom, right into the liver. So that, or you could go into the spleen. So that's what you can get. The other one, where you come up, you know, ahe, 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 hu, the same thing. You can come and hit. And what's the other one? Hit, okay? Two guys behind you, boom! Okay, one guy behind you. Okay, so it's the same thing. If he's standing here, two guys behind, boom, boom. Okay, so multiple, just from the simple 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's what you are automatically learning, knowing it or not. And what you're doing is you're driving it into muscle memory. 3,000 times. That's when it becomes muscle memory. Okay, what else were you doing? Right? Digging the pig, digging the water, getting aware. You're not looking there. You're looking as you're picking up, because what you're doing is you're observing what you're doing. Okay? And when you're going, hey, 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 what you're doing is you're kicking your head off the spear. You've already stabbed the individual. Then this coming down is to get the head off the spear. Okay? That's what you're picking up as far as that's concerned. What other movements when you're hitting your hammer blow? Okay, so those are normally done at a 45. To try to hit like this or hit like this. So your most effective is at a 45. But again, the opposite side of the 45 is here. Okay, so when you are coming, okay, 1, 2, 3, or if you can turn your knuckles in. If you go too far, you're going to hit all of these and break them. So those are what you're doing. The other thing you should be aware of is keeping your stance shoulder width when you are going. Execute, right? From here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so those are just some things to share with you that you're already picking up as you're going. Okay? Now, next week, 2 days, and the 5th day, we'll be going over the eyes, the actual, Ailimeiki, the finger, Ailiminui, the thumb, Honamaka, the eye, Kuiklaik eyes, the third eye, Paina Pepiao is the popping of the ears, and Pelukekua is a back move from there. Okay, now, all of the things you see up here are all extensions, okay? This is not Western, no muskets, no pistols, no cannons. This is all stuff prior to 1790. The Battle of Cape Anaiwai was the first battle that Western weapons were used. Off of the Fair Lady, they took a 4-pound small brass cannon and one other. They had about 3 swivel guns and a bunch of muskets. We don't know how many, but those were the first things that were used. So when Kaiana came in to the Big Island, was it Captain Douglas or was it Kaiana that gave him the weapons? Depends which star you read on that. So that, just to let you know. So anyway, those are just some of the things. Now, one of the things you will find is I get in a lot serious mindset when I'm sharing with you, because if that time ever comes where you have to use something, at least we're trying to share with you those things which may help you at that point in time. Because if you listen to lions, right, what's your existence? It may not be. If that confrontation goes in and you're dead, you're gone. It's that simple. So this hopefully will give you a chance to do that, okay? Now, we have the others who have made these weapons. That'll be coming up and sharing with you how they made them, what they are. If we have a little bit of time afterwards, I'll share where they can be used or how they were used in battle.